Spotlight.
Good evening, listeners. Welcome to today's Spotlight. I'm Gaura Dhawanlal, and today we shall be discussing about Vande Bharat Sleeper Trains, a milestone in the Made in India journey. We are delighted to have with us, as our expert on the show today, Mr. Arunendra Kumar, who's the former chairman, Railway Board. Mr. Kumar, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
So, listeners, as you know, Prime Minister Narendra Modi flagged off the country's first Vande Bharat Sleeper train between Howrah and Guwahati from Malda district in West Bengal today. So, at the onset of the program, before we begin, we'd like to bring you a small excerpt of what the Prime Minister said on the inauguration.
बंगाल की इस पावन भूमि से आज भारतीय रेल के आधुनिकीकरण की तरफ एक और बड़ा कदम उठाया गया। आज से भारत में वंदे भारत स्लीपर ट्रेनों की शुरुआत हो रही है। ये नई वंदे भारत स्लीपर ट्रेन देशवासियों के लंबे सफर को और आरामदायक बनाएगी, शानदार बनाएगी, यादगार बनाएगी। विकसित भारत की ट्रेनों ये कैसी होनी चाहिए, इस वंदे भारत स्लीपर ट्रेन में आप साफ साफ नजर आता है।
Mr. Kumar, this is just the beginning of a dream, a vision to see that mass rapid transport in the country takes a level up, moves up, and in a country of such a huge population with diverse budgetary requirements, with diverse tastes, this is an important step indeed.
Yes, this is a very big step because the country and also the railwaymen were waiting for this version of Vande Bharat 3.0, which is the sleeper version. We have been giving assurances so far that the train is about to be ready, certifications have been done, 180 kmph has been achieved. Now the train long riding results have been achieved and they are all meeting the requirements of the regulatory authorities. But now all that is over. It is for the passengers now. The critical test has now begun because the user will have to decide how much good it is for them. But surely the railway has put their best effort on the ground and brought in the international version of Vande Bharat, which is the sleeper version, which has all the features up to date which the country can think of and provide, the safety features of Kavash, the GPS, the CCTV, the ergonomically designed seats, the suspension, the air conditioning, lighting, and the door locking, plug doors, whatever you call it. Everything is there. The passenger's ride will now come and the feedback will decide how do we improve it further.
Right. Well, as they say, Mr. Kumar, well begun is half done. But we know that any project or any intervention, any new innovation or introduction of any new system or a product is as good as the infrastructure that supports it. Because beginning is one thing, but sustainability is the other factor. How well prepared are we to actually let this fructify into the dream that it was?
Certainly, because the infrastructure is very important and the trials have proved that the infrastructure is in place to handle medium high speed, I should say, train on this sector because Howrah to Guwahati was never in the limelight the way we had the New Delhi to Chennai or New Delhi to Calcutta or New Delhi Bombay routes. But this route has now been chosen, which gives a strong commitment that the railway infrastructure is in place, has been tested and is ready to roll out a new product like Vande Bharat, which is demanding in so many ways, as better signaling, better track reliability, the accessibility of the bridges to take the higher speeds, as also the platforms to access this train, passenger-friendly measures for the physically challenged people. Everything has to be there. And of course, connectivity to these platforms. It has all been tested, tried, and now infrastructure is to be there for such a high quality train to roll out. And since it is there, that's why it has been rolled out.
So you've been chairman of the Railway Board. So if you have to give our listeners an idea that in terms of just a rough proportion, how much could we make use of the existing infrastructure and how much was to be specifically developed for this train?
When you have to bring something new which is high level, you have to retest what you have. So it is retesting of what you had. That means the track, the sleepers, the rails. If there is any rail which has been worn out beyond the limit and cannot go further, you got to replace the rail. If the signaling system needing wiring change, backup change, or that must be done. And if you have to see if there are some curves which are coming in the way, you have to straighten out those curves on the way. The visibility of signals, you may have to resight the signal because the speed is faster and the signals must be seen at a slightly earlier point than normal so that you can take advantage where the signal is green, you can run at full speed. If it is not green or yellow or red, then you take action accordingly. So whatever sensors are on the route, if you have this Kavach demands also putting in more sensors on the route, though it has not yet been fully covered the track, which is on the process. The train is fully covered on the Kavach sector. Similarly, the drivers must know, because of the new train, the loco pilots must know how to drive this train. There should be sufficient backup. So there is a good amount of preparation required infrastructure side, so that the passenger does not feel that something was lacking and that you are in a hurry to start it. Try, test, and then we roll out. And that's what has happened here.
I think thank you for foregrounding this, Mr. Kumar, because, nobody sees the effort that has gone into the final product, but to know that trying, retrying, testing, no shortcuts taken, I think no effort spared to ensure that safety, security and quality and delivery of the service would be excellent. I think that's very, very heartwarming to know.
Yes. Surely, because that is what gives us confidence. If you keep on running, and then you give confidence to your own people that you are able to handle this train. And this is a new area, new sector completely. It's not New Delhi, Varanasi or New Delhi, Bhopal that you are used to these kind of trains. The people are not so well accustomed as far as the experience goes. So the training becomes very important. The mindset becomes very important. Because if you see a signal every, 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, you have to be so alert. And that is what is demanding, both for the driver, both for the second driver, as well as the guard of the train. Similarly, high-speed passenger must get in. We are used to a train in which we can run and board it. Now it's not possible. The train gets locked. The doors are positioned before the train starts. If you can't afford to be left behind, so everybody has to get trained to the technology change. And that is what is demanding for both the passengers as also the infrastructure provider, the railways and the people who run the train.
Wanting to understand from you, Mr. Kumar, 164 Vande Bharat trains will be operational till December 2025. That's the aim. And the vision includes the goal of scaling the fleet up to 800 by 2030 and 4,500 by 2047. So like a geometric progression. Now, the Indian Railways has done a stellar job. One has always believed it's like the circulatory system. The blood flows along the railway lines in terms of the nourishment that it gives travel to the rest of the country. Now, this circulatory system, this where India's travel heartbeat lies, what fillip is these number of trains, the volume of passengers it will carry, what fillip will it give to that?
Having worked in the railways for more than 40 years, I am quite confident that these numbers will be achieved far earlier than what has been stated in the vision, by 2030 or 2047. The reason we have three big factories, the Chennai and this RCF Purthala, as also Raebareli modern coach factory, and they have a habit of scaling up things once they have settled down. And we have seen it in the past happening again and again, and they are not quite used to making anything over 10,000, 12,000 coaches every year. So reaching that number, Vande Bharat will become just one more product, because you have to keep on improving on this product also. So they will improve and Vande Bharat 3 will roll out. So this Philip will give a tremendous boost, as you were asking about what are new products which are being coming, the new technology which is being imbibed in these lines, like what I mentioned, the new kind of suspension, the new doors, the new plug-in doors, the CCTVs, the GPS system, the Kavach thing, interior layouts to be improved. The interior furnishing should be such that they need minimum maintenance even after continuous sustained use. So it's not difficult. Once the initial rollout is difficult, the first 2-3 years will be a challenge. But once you are used to it, then it becomes a child's game. Not that difficult. It's just the numbers which you have to decide how much funds back your production line, and then you are there.
Right. So there's also this temptation to compare flying time and train time and compare flying vis-a-vis a train journey. One has always believed that train journeys are also very experiential in nature. They provide something completely different, which air travel, of course, can't, though they take a longer time, but it's more experiential. What I'm also hearing you say is that premium, it's also going to be a premium experience. It's an experience that travelers will relish. And in terms of price, so do you think it would always be fair to do a premium versus a price competition here?
Let me first put that we always judge railways vis-a-vis aircraft that it takes more time. Leave aside the fact of time, it has to be. All over the world it's like that. But what you are giving him extra luggage, very heavy, much more luggage, very convenient. You can not walk in an aircraft the way you want. You just can get up on your seat and you can walk the whole train. Nobody stops you. In fact, like to see how many people are there, what are they doing, what kinds of people are traveling in this train, where are your friends, and things of that sort. There's no, what should I say, limitation. You don't report the 2 hours in advance and do so much of security. It's such a big hassle. Reaching the airport is a big thing. Whereas all the railway stations are in the heart of the city. It's such a good feeling that if you have a train connectivity, you can reach at almost the same time for these kind of distances. 8 hours, 9 hours compares very favorably if you take a flight, because 2 hours before in Calcutta jams, one can understand how much it takes and security time. So we come down to the same figure.
True.
It's much more convenient, much more enjoyable.
Absolutely. So when we talk of, the Indian Railways actually moving with the times, I think a lot of to keep in time with premium travel. I think premium station experience, sprucing up metro stations, also local and smaller towns, and that work is also on?
Certainly, because if you have to receive a train and you have a halt at the train, why does the train halt? Train halt because for the benefit of passengers. They may get down, they may buy something, they may stroll around to see the local area of the station, see what is available at that location. So all the stations get spruced up. Cleanliness, lighting, availability of eating snacks, local snacks. That is the thing. That's what we have been doing, and that's what everyone does. We get down and do all those kinds of things. So everything on the route gets spruced up. So as far as passenger requirement goes, for the railway side also it gets up, because the passenger platform must be smooth, must be shining, but there should not be any potholes of this sort if there are one. And passenger convenience as far as the overhead bridges, so that you can reach the platform in time.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has always wanted to foreground the importance of self-reliance. In different initiatives of the government, this has been foregrounded. It does come up time and again. In fact, at the inauguration also, he did speak about this.
आज भारतीय रेल आधुनिक होने के साथ साथ आत्मनिर्भर भी हो रही है. भारत के रेल इंजन, भारत के रेल के डिब्बे, भारत के मेट्रो कोच, ये सब भारत की टेक्नोलॉजी की पहचान बन रहे हैं. आज हम अमेरिका और यूरोप से ज्यादा लोकोमोटिव बना रहे हैं. दुनिया के कई देशों को पैसेंजर ट्रेन और मेट्रो ट्रेन के कोच का एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं, और इन सब के कारण हमारी इकोनॉमी को बहुत लाभ मिलता है. हमारे नौजवानों को रोजगार मिलता है.
Mr. Kumar, we've discussed so many, I think, positives and how it's forward-looking, cutting edge. Any challenges you foresee?
Yes, whenever you have a new design, it's a change for the passenger. He has to get used to it. Let me give you an example. Charger, when we introduced the mobile charger, now there were big complaints that the things got burnt out. So either the unit burns out or the railway fuse system did not accept that kind of overload. Now that's a big challenge, to accept that all the chargers are working and people put the right chargers in place. So we have to design systems to do protection of the system, of the electrical system, to take that kind of load, or kind of misuse, one may say, is one too strong a word. But that kind of challenge will come. If you, let us say, the door, the footstep which you use to go on the upper berth, it gets damaged. Now, a person may not deliberately damage, but because of continuous usage, it has not yet been subjected, though a lot of testing has been done, but it gets damaged. How do you replace it in the allotted time? Anything required for the repairs part, that is a big challenge. If anything goes wrong, how fast you can repair it. So people are in the learning phase at the moment, because they are doing it maintenance for the first time. And the passenger does not know that it's first time or last time, but your people know that it could be the first time, at least to begin with, and then you get used to it. So there are very big challenges. That's why senior people will be there. The more technical people will be attending the thing, so that nobody makes a mistake. And first time right is always right. That should be the motto, and that has been the motto. And you can't accept a failure on a such thing, on a high standing kind of thing. And that's why the best foot is always there. The best men are always there. And once you do it, then the legacy will take you through. People will learn that this is the way to do a job. There cannot be a shortcut. There is only one cut, and that is the right cut, and that has to happen.
Right. So, Mr. Arunendra Kumar, thank you so much for this lucid and articulate, expression of any doubts, any questions, and any elucidation that we might have wanted. Thank you so much for coming on to our program.
Thank you very much.
Listeners, we'd also like to remind you that you can also tune into this program on our mobile app, News on AIR, and our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. That's all for today. Namaskar.
Spotlight.